So this is what our outline will look like. I think we've already started with the introduction, but I'm going to be introducing our speakers later on. I'm going to be introducing them one after the other when it's their turn. I'll make a few announcements, tell you about the AROS admission process, and then we'll go on to the main dish for today. So who is AROS? That's where we're starting from, who we are and what we do, the admission process and how our system works, just by way of introduction. So AROS is your International Education and Research Consultant. We're your study abroad partners, and we provide guidance and counseling, personalized support, academic counseling, research consulting, admission processing, visa support. And all of those goes together with fund security. That's one of the promises that we make to our clients, because in many cases, this seems to be the major challenge that people have had. People have had very terrible experiences in times past from people who present themselves as educational consultants, and people have been scammed. So we are saying here, we are promising you 100% security. So if that's what you're looking for, if that's your concern, you're in the right place. We also go beyond admissions, especially when we support young people, especially I would say undergraduate students. We want to support you through and through. So we're not just offering you admission processing, we're supporting you throughout the period of your study. We have networks across the world. Any country that we send students to, we have networks over there to support you, to help you to settle down, to help you if you have issues. So those are all things that we offer to our students. So these are part of the exceptional value-added services that we provide. And we also provide special support for minors because parents sometimes they are worried if I just send out a very young child out there and there is nobody. It's a worry for many parents. So we provide support for minors as well. So if your child is going out in the world there, you're not there, you don't have relations there, we want someone to be there for them, to help them navigate the new environment and settle down and someone that they can actually relate with, like someone that is their own person. So those are all things that we provide for our students. And the admission process is very simple. These are the documents that you need to have before we can even start talking. Certificates, your official transcripts, you need a CV, especially if you've been working and you have a gap in your education. Let's say the last 5 years was when you graduated from your bachelor's program. Now you're interested in going for a master's program. You need to let us know what you've been doing within the 5 years. So your CV will be able to take care of that. If you are going for a research program, you need a research proposal. And sometimes when the gap in your study is quite enormous, or your result is not very good, you may need to provide proof of work experience to show that you have additional experience apart from your educational experience. And that this will also apply to, because sometimes people do ask us, what if I have an HND? What if I have a third class or a low 2? Yes, this is where your proof of work experience can come in, where we use that to plead your case with the university to say, see, this person might not have had the best of results, but they have experience going for them. So we make a case for you using your proof of work experience. And what you can use for that, an example would be your offer letter. Your offer of employment. You have an employment letter. You have a letter of promotion. Yeah, those are things that can go as proof of that. So if you're ready to start the journey, all you need to do is go to arostransactions.com. That's AROS website. There is a tab for admission services. You go there, complete the application form, upload all the required documents, and then you can get in touch on WhatsApp. Sure, everyone knows WhatsApp number +6011 21748309. So anytime, there will always be someone there to attend to you. So this is how the process goes. We do credential evaluations after receiving your credentials. Then we expect to make a security deposit of $100 if you are going to study in any of the Western states mostly. If you are going to study in other places, we may not even require that from you. So this is not like a compulsory thing. Sometimes we waive that, but sometimes, especially when we see that people who are getting in touch are not really serious and they're just going to waste staff time, we ask you to make a security deposit so that we can see that you are really committed to going on the journey. That is a refundable, no, I won't say refundable, that's going to be part of your processing or service fee at the end of the day. So it's not, you're not paying us that, it's going to be part of your processing or service fee. Then after that, we'll give you recommendations, 3-4 schools. You can choose the one you want, pay your service charge or deposit, and then we make the application for you. You receive the offer. You can choose whichever one you want, because sometimes some people will tell you, I prefer to apply to several universities because I'm not sure, and which is always good. Even for us, we advise that you apply to at least 2 schools. So when they come, you make a decision which one you want, then you accept the offer, then you can pay the tuition deposit if it is required by the university. Some universities don't require you to pay tuition deposit. Then you can apply for your visa. We support you throughout that. We help you to apply for visa. When your visa is approved, then we also support you to arrange for board or travel, reception. If you need help with buying tickets, traveling and everything, we support you all through until you land at your destination. Sometimes we also support our students through the initial registration process. When they report in their school, sometimes the system could be complicated and they need help, they need support. All of that is at no cost other than the service fee that you've paid. So we're just with you all through. So what we do when we receive your documents is we put them in our admission platform, and then so you have already decided on what program you want to study, which country you are interested in going. Usually you don't choose universities, because most of the time what people are concerned about is more of how much is the tuition, how much is the living expense, are they going to ask me to do an English test? So these are conditions that you can give us. I don't want to do an English test. I don't want to spend more than $10,000. I don't want, you just give us conditions. I want to go to the US or I want to go to Canada. Then we filter the system with all this, and then the results that are returned are customized exactly for you. So we just let you know, okay, these are the universities that meet your conditions in the country that you have chosen. They are in this state or this city, and then we can make your application when you make a decision on which one you want. So it's a very straightforward and simple system like that. So that's how our admission process goes. And then a few announcements just before we start to listen to our speakers. For those who came in early, you would have seen the EduFair session that we are holding in Nigeria by June this year. The Abuja session is on the 15th of June and the Lagos session is on the 17th of June. Several universities are expected to be in attendance in Nigeria, and the students, participants are going to have the opportunity of one-on-one with the admission teams of these universities. We are speaking with them and we are making arrangements for on-the-spot admission letters. So if you are interested in that, you can download and review the student pack if you go to the website of the program. So you can download, review the student pack, send in your documentations ahead, and we'll let you know if there is anything that you need to work on. We're covering both bachelor's, master's, PhD, and even professional courses. So whichever one, that's the website there, the EduFair website is there. Or you can go to Arrow's website and go to the event tab. At the event tab, you will see the EduFair program there. And if you are on the call and you are not from Nigeria, maybe you are from another African country, you can always let us know if you want to attend the program. We can arrange for an invitation for you so that you can get a visa to just travel to Nigeria to attend. Especially for those from maybe Niger Republic, for Ghana, from Cameroon, that could be something that you want to do. So next webinar, we are going to be having an actor and movie producer on the call. So if that's your dream, or you know anyone that is interested in acting, that is interested in producing, this will be a very good opportunity to be in a one-on-one call with someone from the Nollywood industry and see if it's really what you want to do. He's going to be on the call to tell us about how to get into this the profession, how to get into the system, what you need to know, what you need to study. He's going to tell us about his own journey into Nollywood, and then you can ask your questions. Maybe you've been thinking about this and you want to know how to get in. This will be your opportunity. And if you know anyone who is also in that category, please share with them. Tell them to be on the call on the 20th of May. We're going to be having an actor and movie producer from one of our Nollywood groups, so it's going to be on the call. And then we are also going to be having a university guest. University of Cyberjaya from Malaysia will be on the call. So if you have questions, you want to know what scholarships are available, what programs you can study with them, what tuition discounts you can get, the representatives of the university will be on the call 20th of May. So please make it a day and tell anyone that needs to know that they can make themselves available. So today on the webinar, we are having two speakers. Luluwa is an international student in Malaysia. He's going to be speaking to us about his experience, about opportunities that you can access as an international student here, especially as an undergraduate international student. And then we're going to also be speaking with Dr. Bruno Tanko. He is an assistant professor at the Malaysian campus of the University of Reading, United Kingdom. So he's going to be speaking to us about the world of work in tomorrow's workspace. Things are changing, some jobs are disappearing, new jobs are coming up. How do you prepare yourself to be relevant in the tomorrow's future workspace? Because it's not just enough to go abroad, it's not just enough to study a course. How do you study the right course? How do you make the right decision? Dr. Bruno is a quantity surveyor. He's a registered quantity surveyor. He's a fellow of so many associations. When I'm introducing him personally, you're going to hear more about him. But we're going to be speaking to Luluwa first, and he's going to be sharing with us about his experience. So there are a few other announcements before we go to them. I think this was on last week. So if you are interested, Arrows will post the link again for you to in the chat box, so you can get in and check if you are qualified, and then you can apply. Intakes that are currently open, September 2023 is almost filled up. January 2024, April, May 2024, and September 2024. They are all open now. So don't wait, start early, start now, because good schools get filled up very, very fast. Cheap schools also get filled up very, very fast. So if you don't apply now, some universities are already filled up for September 2024. So if you want to go there, you have to wait till 2025. So the earlier you start, the better. Don't wait until you have everything. Express your interest, start the application, try to secure a spot, then you can try to gather whatever else you need. We move on to Dr. Bruno Tanko. I'm going to pin him here so you can see him. I hope you can all see him. Yeah, that's Dr. Bruno, just by way of, thank you. By way of introduction, Dr. Bruno is the head of Department of the Built Environment Department at University of Reading, the Malaysian campus. He has a PhD in quantity surveying. He has MSc in construction management with a distinction, and a bachelor's degree in quantity survey with first-class honors. He has been involved in teaching and training in the fields of quantity surveying, cost engineering, and construction project management in Nigeria and overseas since 2009. So he's a fellow of the Higher Education Academy of the United Kingdom, and has won the 2021 prestigious Collaborative Teaching Award of the University of Reading, United Kingdom. He is a member of the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors, a member of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, and a registered quantity surveyor. And I think I should say on top of that, he is also my former colleague at the University of Technology Malaysia. That's where we met. Thank you very much, Dr. Bruno, for joining us, for coming on the call to share with our audience today.
Thank you.
Very much welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts. Yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let me share my screen because I have. All right. Is my presentation up? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Arrows Education, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts with the audience. My name is Bruno Tanko. All right. So today I am going to share with you guys about the future relevant careers and how to choose the right courses or the right program, and also the options in the built environment. And my university is University of Reading, that has a campus in the UK and also in Malaysia. So I'm going to share with you guys about this very university. So let's see how we can unpack this. All right. So future relevant careers. Now, if you look at this very figure, this is from World Economic Forum. These are top 20 job roles in increasing and decreasing demand. So if you look at from item number 1 to number 10, you find out that they are all related to digitalization and transformation. Item number 1 is data analysts and scientists. Number 2 is about AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Number 3, big data for digital marketing, and so on. If you look at those numbers, you won't see anything like law, like medicine, like nursing. We're used to all these programs. So in today's world, because of the change, the shift to digitalization, we need to focus more on these very skills. All right. So if you look at this diagram also, I was trying to kind of share with a friend about the present jobs. We have different jobs today: engineering, marketing, arts, business management. But today, the destination of these jobs have changed. So tomorrow we will be talking about cloud computing. We're talking about content creators. We're talking about engineering, digital engineering, people and culture, data, AI, and the rest. All right. So I try to look at the top skills in different countries. So if you look at in Singapore, in United States, and all these countries, if you look at the first top skill that is being regarded as high demand in the organization is analytical thinking and innovation. So all these are related to digitalization. So if you are trying to kind of think about a future career, you have to consider these various skills. All right. Okay. I have some few suggestions on my list. The first on my list is data analysts. So today, because of the large amount of data we have in the organization, we really need data analysts to analyze data. That's very, very important in today's world. So data analysts will be in very high demand in the future. Okay. Then number 2, we have the cybersecurity professionals. These are professionals that are also in very high demand because of the cyber breaches. We have a lot of cyber attacks. So these professionals will be in very high demand in the future. Then number 3 on my list is renewable energy professionals. Today we talk about climate change. We talk about the protection of the ozone layer. We talk about a lot of things uh, sustainability, sustainable construction, sustainable way of life. So in today's world, we need to look at renewable energy. So in the future, these very professionals will be in very, very high demand. And also, we'll have to look at environmental scientists. Today, we're talking about lean construction, waste management, pollution reduction. So all these professionals will be in high demand in our organizations. Okay, so these are areas that we should look at carefully. Again, software developers and software engineers. If you look at in the UK and even in the US, the software engineer is being paid about $100,000 per month. Okay, so this is a very, very good area, very lucrative. So I believe if we can look at this very field closely, this will also be very, very good in the future. Then in the academic, in education and academia, we are going to look at what is called customized learning. Now, in the future, we're not going to go into classrooms spending 6 years or 3 years. People will now have what they call customized learning. If you want to know about a particular software, you just meet this academia or expert. He will teach you about this very aspect within a very short period of time, and you become an expert. You move straight to implementation, and you start your work and earn money. So that is what is going to happen in the future. Okay, so education is still very important. All right, then the next is machine learning and AI scientists. These are very, very important areas. This is closely related to what I just mentioned about software developers. So today we have experts that design and implement algorithms in order to make predictions. So this is also a very, very important area. Okay. Personally, I am in the construction industry, but I'm also into Internet of Things applications in smart buildings, because everything now is turning towards digitalization, transformation, and the rest. So if you want to a kind of up your skill, you need to learn a lot of things. You need to learn different languages. You need to learn Python and all R and all other languages in order to a kind of have those skills, because in the future everything is just moving towards this direction. All right, so machine learning, artificial intelligence scientists will be in very, very high demand in the future. Then healthcare professionals, in today's world, we don't just talk about doctors or nurses or pharmacists. Today we're looking at therapists, we're looking at midwives, we're looking at a lot of professionals in this very sector, because we need to take care of our health, and because of our aging population, we need these professionals forever. So this is a very, very good industry. Okay, then in the construction industry, we have what is called building information modeling. It's actually a virtual platform where the physical assets or infrastructure are being a kind of carried out in a virtual space. So professionals collaborate within this virtual space. You have architects, you have quantity surveyors, you have all the engineers. They collaborate within this space in order to produce the building or the project. So I'm going to highlight more on that later. Now, how do you choose the right course? How do you choose the right program? So I have 3 suggestions. Number 1, and it's very, very important, is your interest. Try to know your interest. What skills do you want to develop? That's very, very important. Try to know your interest, and from your interest, identify your strengths. Now, your strengths could be in terms of, if you're not very good with mathematics, for instance, or engineering mathematics, then you can go into very sophisticated disciplines. Try to know your strength, and strength will be in terms of cost. What is the cost of the program? So you need to know, if you want to enroll into medicine, how much does that cost? You need to analyze your financial position before you go into any program. Okay, then your career goals. Now, your career goals must align with your interests. Okay, so you need to know your interests, your strengths, and your career goals. And I want to specifically commend the effort of Arrows Education. For career goals, you can always contact them. They will advise you um, based on your skills, based on your interests and strengths. It should be able to advise you on what program you should kind of enroll in. Okay, so these are the three things I think they are very, very important in choosing any program: your interest, the strengths you have, and the career goals. Then, what are the options in the built environment? I am from the built environment, so let me just share with you some of the options in the built environment. Now, the built environment is a very, very wide terminology. If you look at transportation, it's part of the built environment, but today I'm going to look at the built environment in the context of construction. Okay. Now, if you look at all these structures, we have the house building, it's part of construction, the airports, part of construction, skyscrapers, apartments, factories, they are all stadium, they are all part of construction. So who are the people involved in this very construction? So we have different professionals. We have the architect, he designs. We have the quantity surveyor. The quantity surveyor is in charge of the costing of all these projects. Then we have the planner, town planner. We have the real estate managers. They're in charge of the finished product. They kind of value it, the sale of these products. Then we also have structural engineers. We have mechanical, electrical engineers. We have civil engineers. They are all parts of the built environment. Okay. If you look at this very image, these professionals are also in charge of drainage, they're in charge of roads, tunnels, they're in charge of also bridges. So these are all aspects that form the built environment. So looking at this very slide, these are the professionals in this built environment. So if you're interested in this very discipline, you could be a quantity surveyor, you could be a urban planner, you could be a civil engineer, you could be a structural engineer, facility manager, or real estate manager. Mechanical engineer will take care of all the mechanical systems in the building, fire systems, lifts, and all the mechanical accessories. Then we have architects, we have construction managers. Okay, these are all professionals in the built environment. What's wrong with a participant has enabled close? Okay, I can't move my slide. Okay, yeah, fine. So who can someone just unmute his or her mic to tell me this location? Can you identify this location?
This should be Saudi Arabia or the Middle East.
Yeah, I like that. Very close. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so this is Dubai. Some years ago, this is Dubai. I know you'd be surprised. So the same location, look at the location right now. Everything has changed due towards digitalization and transformation in the built environment. Okay. Now again, if you look at this, can you identify this building? This is an emergency hospital in China during the COVID-19 pandemic. It was built in 12 days. In 12 days, they built 80,000 square meter hospital. Right? So this was possible because of transformation and digitalization. All right. Now, if you look at this image, I tried to explain that in 2007, construction expertise was more prominent. Technology was down there, but in today's world we have more of technology. So that was why we could build that. They could build that hospital in just 12 days. So today we talk about Industry 4.0 and a lot of digital platforms, cloud computing, augmented reality, VR, Internet of Things, blockchain, and the rest. Okay. And my advice to everyone is everything now is turning towards digitalization, irrespective of your profession. Accounting, now we have financial analysts, construction, medical, even language, even arts. Everything is turning towards digital. So my advice to everyone is for you to kind of make sure you have all these skills. All right, so this is BIM. This is called Building Information Modeling, where All the experts are involved in this very virtual platform, from the detailed design to analysis, documentation, fabrication, the construction, and everything from initial to conclusion. All right. So in our own field, you could be a virtual design and construction manager in BIM. You could be a BIM project manager. As a QS, you kind of choose to be a BIM designer or BIM specialist or digital construction manager. So you have a lot of things you can choose to become. All right. So you're not just limited to one thing. Yeah. So thank you. I know I don't have much time, but let me just highlight to you University of Reading very briefly. So in University of Reading, if you look at this image, I would like to strongly encourage you guys to tell your kids, your words about this university. It has a campus in Malaysia, and also the main campus is in the UK. Now, if you look at the fee structure, right, in UK, for just 1 year, in UK, you spend about £24,500 per year. So total cost is about 36,500 per year. So the conversion is 21 million. Then in Malaysia, it's the same degree, and your certificate won't carry anything like University of Reading Malaysia. It's University of Reading UK. It's just a campus in Malaysia. Now, if you look at the cost difference, in Malaysia, you'll be able to save about 16 million. And then we have what is called mobility and transfer. You can come to Malaysia here, spend just 1 year, and move to the UK, and finish second year and third year. You can decide to just spend the second year in the UK and come back to Malaysia and conclude your studies. All right. So someone said the previous speaker made mention of affordability. I think that's the key thing why people come to Malaysia. If you compare the cost, the facilities are here, and then if you compare the cost is far cheaper. That's why people tend to come to Malaysia. So the pathways to join our university is very simple. We have what is called the International Foundation Program in Nigeria. I think we call it REMS, right? So through REMS, International Foundation Program, you need to pass the English, University English, and if you have a diploma, you can just join our program. We have 8 programs. We have BSc Quantity Surveying, that's in Malaysia. We have Bachelors of Laws, we have Real Estate, we have Accounting and Finance. We have all these programs on the screen. Okay, so for entry requirements, you need to have minimum 5 credits, including maths and English as usual. For Quantity Surveying and Psychology, you need to have 1 science subject and mathematics. Then for UEC, that's those from Malaysia, just like your IJMB. All right. So for degree, entry into degree, I think the thing, diploma, you need to have at least a GPA of 3.0 and above for you to join the degree directly. And you need to have IELTS, that's International English Language Testing System, of 6.5 overall at least for you to join the degree program directly. If you want to join our foundation program, you need to have 5.5. For degree, is 6.5. Right. So for mobility, if you choose to spend 1 year here and the second year in the UK, you will have 20% discount from the UK tuition fees. All right. Is it difficult to transfer? No, it's very easy. It's very easy to transfer. All right. What's the most popular choice for Malaysians? What Malaysians do here mostly is they come to our foundation, spend 1 year in Malaysia, then the second year in the UK, and they come back to conclude their studies in Malaysia in the third year. I know Nigerians, if you want to come here, you can just spend 1 year in Malaysia, spend second year in the UK, and third year in the UK, right? And you can choose to just come back to Malaysia and finish. Your degree is still the same. All right. If you want more information about this, please kindly contact Arrows Education. Right. So this is about quantity surveying. It's accredited by 4 international organizations, and you can work anywhere. You can work in New Zealand, Australia, Canada. You can work in the UK, Singapore, everywhere. Once you are our graduates, you can work anywhere in the world, I think, except the US. And the US will definitely accept you if you can work in Canada and UK. All right. Yeah. So let me be fast. So in our school here, we have a lot of facilities. This is a 3D model that was produced by our year 1 students. So we have 3D printing, we have VR, we have all the software you can think of. We have them here in our campus. We have laser scanner, and upon graduation, you'll be issued a certificate of use. Course a certificate of use. Try to certify that you have all those digital skills, and immediately you'll be employed. Our employment rate here is 100%. 100%. Once they graduate, they are employed immediately. All right. Yeah, this is one of we also use drones to kind of analyze or detect defects in buildings. We also have laser scanners. We have all the facilities you can think of. This is one of our students using the VR headset in the class. And also we have our student success around the world. Our students work all over the world, everywhere. Student success. Sorry, I'm trying to meet up with the time. Yeah, so these are some of our students. We also visit construction sites. We take them around, take them to Singapore, the neighboring countries. We kind of expose them to real life projects. Right? Yeah. So so in terms of average salary, you could from the screen you can see that they are well paid. The entry level, this is from Mike Johnson, Digital Construction Salaries 2022. So they are well paid. In Malaysia here, the entry level is 3,500. If I convert it at black market rate, that means it's 500,000 naira, Nigerian naira. That's the entry level. So I think this is lucrative for Nigerians. So if you can consider this option, then it will be good. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bruno. Thank you for that sharing time. Before we go into the questions, or those who have some questions for him, I just want to add that one thing that he didn't remember to add for us is that you can actually choose to be a professor too in those fields that he has shared with us. So you can choose not to be in the industry. If you love academics, you can decide to be like him